Hello everybody, and welcome back to Interactive Stories. Last time we did the doll and got the bad ending. Today we're going to do After Funeral. I apologize if there's a bunch of loud background noises. I don't know why, it seems like everyone is just out and about. Today we are doing After Funeral. I don't know exactly what it's about. After Funeral is a modern gothic horror story that takes place 3 days after your son's burial. You receive messages in your computer, those claim to be sent by your son's soul. He says that he wants to be with you once again and asks you to do a few things in order to be resurrected. Will you believe in the messages? After Funeral. You used to be a father, and it's been 3 days since your son, Jonathan White, was buried in a graveyard of the local church. He was 8 years old, had golden hair and blue eyes, just like just like the beloved man in the Carpenter song, Close to You. Since your wife passed away giving birth to Jonathan, and since he has been your everything, he was your angel. Now he is gone. Well, getting off on a sad note already. Jesus Christ. He died in a snowy winter morning. You had gone to market, leaving him alone at home. When you arrive at home, you found Jonathan lying on the bed motionless. His face was covered with his pillow, choked. Huh. Police couldn't find any trace of trespassing, so he was killed by a ghost, apparently. Damn. You clearly remember the solemn moments of Jonathan's funeral. In fact, you try to forget, but the details are in front of your eyes and they won't go away. The priest had intoned psalms and prayers. Uh, I don't. Okay. Uh, those you are not so familiar with, as you are not so religious, while the lifeless body of your son laid in the church. His feet were turned to the east, and he was wearing black suits and shiny shoes. His skin was pale. He was way too young for all of this. Yeah, he was 8. Of course he's way too young for all this. Man, this is depressing. You wish it was you laying there instead of him. That is, oh my, that is depressing. Like, oh my god, oh, Ohio, that's where I live. Like the day Jonathan died, it's a snowy day in all of Ohio. There are 3 inches of snow outside, and it's 14 p.m. now. 14 o'clock now. You are a writer who has been in a writer's block since that day. Your favorite word processor is open in the your favorite word processor is open in the computer. The screen is blank, and you haven't written anything for a long time. There's a cigarette butts in the ashtray, and your black hot coffee in a blue cup on your work table. You chain smoke and consume lots of coffee nowadays. Okay, warning when you give me random noises. That that help. As you're sipping your coffee, the doorbell rings. Open the door. You open the door. It's Bob, your neighbor and friend. You had drinks. You had drunk beers and had barbecue with him for several times. Bob is a nice guy. He is overweight, has short black hair and no facial hair. He wears a dark blue jacket and a black beanie. Hey, how are you? I want to ask how you been. I'm fine, the greatest line known to man, and I'm about to abuse this. Bob believes in your lie. It's good that you're doing better, fam. Everyone knows losing a kid is hard process, but I'm sure you'll get over it. You are a strong man. Uh, am I? I mean, I don't know. Bob continues, I'm going to the market right now. Do you need anything? You remember that you are out of cigarettes. Cigarettes. Ah, you need cigarettes? He puts his hand in his pocket and pulls out a pack of cigarettes. Maybe I am a bad friend for doing this, but anyway, take this. I'll buy myself another pack in the market. You take the pack that has 10 cigarettes inside and thank him. I like Bob. Bob seems fun. Bob seems like a good dude. I hope nothing happens to Bob. Don't you go killing off Bob. Swear Bob dies. Take a bullet for that man already. Okay, man, see you later. You say goodbye to Bob too. Then he goes. You close the door and sit back in your work table. You look at the computer screen that should have been blank, but no, it's not blank. Something is written. Daddy, I miss you. Um, well, it's happened. We were called a strong man. We were proven wrong because now we're hallucinating. Turn off the computer. You turn off the computer and the monitor screen goes black. Then then nothing else appears on the screen. You don't find anything written in your novel. You don't find anything to write in your novel, so you don't need to turn the computer once again. Turn on the computer once again. And yes, also the text disturbs you. You don't experience anything supernatural during the rest of the day. At night, you take your sleeping pills and fall asleep. You are having a vivid dream. You see Jonathan in a garden with green grass and colorful flowers. He runs around with happiness and angels. There are white dressed angels around him. Everyone is smiling. You are not part of this dream. Jonathan doesn't see you. But you are still content. A lie. I am going to use that lie. Cigarettes. I think the biggest point was Jonathan. You type Jonathan at the computer. Then news letters, then append at text and screen. Whoever types it, he, she, it writes fast. When they are finished, they form two sentences. I can hear you, Daddy. Talk to me. Shout Jonathan. You shout your deceased son's name out. New letters appear. Form a reply. Yes, it's me. You are not a computer engineer, but you know that this is possible. You know that it's possible to hack someone's computer and pull a prank on them if the computer is online. Your computer is connected to the internet with an ether cable. Pull the ether cable. You crouch down and frankly pull the ether cable from your computer. You expect that nothing else would be written, but no, you're wrong. I'm in the computer. Okay, so that's done. Good Lord said that I should be together with you. He said that I love you and that you love me, so he sent me back. Oh? So yeah, I think we're already on a different path. I'm so afraid, Daddy. It's cold and dark, and I'm so cold here. Please, bring me back. Do you want to see me once again? I like how it's giving me the option to turn off the computer at any time, as if I'm not going to keep going. Is it ethical? Sure. Five candles and wait for me at midnight. Bye for now, Dad. We are summoning demon, aren't we? This isn't our child, this is a demon. You got only one candle at home. You normally use a candle when electricity is gone, so you don't need more than one candle. I've already asked him for cigarettes, so I'll just go buy myself. So you wear your long beige coat and black leather boots, excuse me, and you walk to the market and buy 4 candles. Then you return home. At home, you wait in front of your monitor. Nothing happens till midnight. Then a new message appears on the screen. I'm back, Daddy. Did you bring the candles? Yes. Good. Let me explain how you can bring me back. Go to the cemetery, dig my grave, bring my coffin home. Good Lord wants us to be together. Don't you want to bring me back to life? You're not Jonathan. Oh my God. I will rape your wife's corpse. Do you hear me? I won't let you or her find peace. You are out of words, and the response goes into this tantrum. No other messages appear. You turn off the computer, you take a high dose of sleeping pills because you will need it. You go to sleep. You see your deceased pretty wife in your dreams, except she's not pretty anymore because she is rotting a corpse. A skeleton to be exact, lying in her coffin. You can't expect much to be left from her body after 8 years of death and decay. But what makes this dream worse is the fact that she is moving. She writhes inside the coffin. You can feel her pain and despair from how her body parts are moving. You wake up to the sound of the door. I need to show you something. Okay. Okay. One more time. Open the door. Lie. Cigarettes. We type Jonathan. Shout Jonathan. Pull ether cable. Ask. Oh. Um. Yes. Uh. Buy him from markets. Yes. Okay, and then this. We shall speak again once you bring my coffin. You know it's the same to what you do, but you get prepared to go inside, you wear your coat, and get outside your home. This is written weird. Just letting you know. I feel like some of it's me and my lack of grammar skills, but yeah, a lot of it's like the way it's worded. You get prepared to get outside. You wear your coat and get outside your home. It's snowing like hell. Code interpretation of hell outside. Like a cold, hell cold interpretation of hell. Outside, the sky is bright purple color, illuminating the night with the help of a full moon behind the clouds. You get your car started, and the streets roads are empty. There's only you outside. In this hour of night, it doesn't take long to arrive the church. Yeah, see, it doesn't take long to arrive the church in its graveyard. The graveyard is covered with snow and gray mist. No lights come from the church. Either there's nobody inside. Either there is nobody inside, or the priest is sleeping. That's good. You can't be seen while you're digging your son's grave. You find graves of your son and wife, and Jonathan White is buried next to his mother. There is an unoccupied area next to him. You will be buried there when your time comes. You search for a shovel. You find it in about 10 minutes. You are ready to dig. You start digging Jonathan's grave. After 6 feet of digging, you reach a little wooden coffin. You climb down and carry the coffin up. After that, you climb up and carry the dirty coffin to your car's back seat. You had never done something this bizarre before. That was a weird sound. I'd hope you'd never done this before. Seemed like a natural, though. After you reach home, you get off your car and carry the coffin home. Luckily, there is no one around. Luckily. You drag the coffin to your living room center. You don't care about the floor getting dirty with its soil. Thank you, Daddy, gets written on the screen. Now put the candles around my coffin like a star. Okay. You carefully place the candles around the coffin, making the center of a star. You light them with your lighter. Now read this, Daddy. A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water. Should I read that? Sure. You read the lines. A lonely goat on a mountain. He is thirsty for humanly love and affection. I shall give him the water. And the coffin starts to shake. The coffin lid lifts openly, slowly. You see Jonathan opening the lid, rising up. His skin is pale, almost white. You could smell the rot in his undead corpse. He is wearing a black suit you couldn't forget. That black suit you couldn't forget. He stands on his feet and smiles at you, then steps outside the coffin away from you, without saying anything. He does something you wouldn't expect from the dead. He dances. He dances with joy. After half a minute, he stops dancing and stares at you. His eyes are still blue. Take me in your arms, Daddy. Take me to the bathroom. I want to show you something. It is not possible to obey what he says. You feel his presence dominating the room. overwhelming you, and it's impossible to say no. It's impossible not to obey. Okay. You crouch down and take him in your arms. You carry him to the bathroom. You bring him to the dark bathroom, turn on the light, and get horrified by what you see in the mirror. The boy's reflection is different. His skin is burnt, like coal. Jonathan had an innocent and handsome face, but the face you see now is so far from being pleasant. It is like a really old man's face, who's also very ugly. Okay, rude. You ain't gotta insult. Why you gotta insult the demon like that? It's a demon. Are you stupid? And he has no hair. I always wanted a daddy like you. Hey, yo, hold on. Hold on. I don't like where this is going. Sells the eldritch abomination you hold in your arms. Fucking just roast. I literally just roasted this already burnt child, who apparently looks like an old man and charcoal. Oh my god. The end. There are two possible endings. Alright, so that was after the funeral. We got enough time. Let's run right into Crystal Skull. You're a king who is loved by his people. You have a serious problem though. Your only child, Juliana, has an incurable disease and she is dying. You hear about a crystal skull which can cure illness and let people have visions. It is brought to your palace from the continent of America. But your man warned you that the skull might be cursed. Will a crystal skull bring health to the princess or doom? More likely doom. Excuse me. Pressing. Okay. Being a king is hard. Being a good king is even harder. You know this well, a sole ruler of European kingdom in the age where America was discovered. Can't even give a right date. It has been 25 years since you ascended the throne. Your subjects are content with your rule. Your country is in peace and your people are wealthy. But there is something wrong with your life. Your daughter Juliana is ill. She's only 18 years old and she has an illness that nobody could cure yet. Princess is dying and she's your only child, an heir to the throne. Every doctor you could try and find to cure. Every doctor you could find tried to cure her. You have tried almost everything. Almost. You have been informed about this miraculous artifact unearthed in the continent of America. It's a human skull made out of crystal. It amazes the scholars because no method is known to carve up such an excellent shape of the skull out of crystal. The skull doesn't belong to the world that you know, but an ancient civilization that has been lost. But what amazes the scholars is not just the impossible creation. The skull is told to bring miracles to whom touches it with their bare hands. Some people tell that they saw visions from the future. Some tell that they saw how the human race was originated. Some tell that the skull can cure their illness, those who couldn't be cured with the medicine available to your era. Naturally, you ordered your best men to bring this miraculous skull to the palace. It's midnight now. You are in Juliana's chamber. She's lying in your bed. Her bed. So, oh my god. I was doing so well with the reading. Why am I like this? Holding your hand as you sit by her bed. No candles are lit inside. Full moon enlightens the princess's chambers, shining on her long blonde hair and blue eyes. She is too weak. Her skin is pale. She has under her eye bags showing her illness. She's already suffered the loss of your wife 10 years ago. Now you can't stand seeing your only daughter slowly die. Juliana asks you with a soft voice, "Am I going to die?" "Father, I won't allow that." "I know, Father. You are a mighty king. I know that you will do your best by your subjects and me." The door of the chamber is knocked on. The servants generally don't disturb the royal family members at night, so it must be something important. Come in! A brunette boy, one of your servants, gets inside the chamber with politeness. He looks at you and says, "Your Majesty, the artifact has been brought. You've been waiting for this moment for a long time." Kiss her on the forehead just in case she dies when you're out. After you kiss Juliana's forehead and say, "I will come back," she brings your hand to her pale lips and kiss it. Then you leave Juliana alone in her chamber. At the exit of Juliana's chamber, you see Sir William, one of the knights who were appointed with the task of bringing the ancient skull. He is a strong man with black hair and a round beard. He wears gloves and holds a bag. "Your Majesty," he says, "I kneel before you. Signal him to stand up. Let go to my study." Sir William follows you as you walk to your study chamber. The chamber is well lit with silver candelabras. All the furniture are classy. It's the king's study room, after all. There is only one chair. It is for you. You sit on it. "Sir," William says. Sir William stands by you. By you, and slowly pulls the artifact from his bag. You push the books on your study desk to open space for the artifact. "Here it is," he says. Gently puts the crystal on the desk. The skull is truly a masterpiece if it is crafted by humans. All the details of a human skull are imprinted with care on a raw crystal. Lights coming from the candles are refracted inside the crystal, gaining various colors of the rainbow. It's magnificent, but you sense something sinister, something that doesn't belong to our world. "Did you touch the skull?" "Yes, we did touch the skull with our bare hands. And we all had visions. We took glances from our futures. Some of us saw how we would die. Some of us saw our grandchildren," he continues. "But maybe we shouldn't have touched that skull." "Why?" "I know that our princess needs to find a cure. I also know that we received reliable information about the magical powers of the skull. But when it comes to incurable disease, the magical powers of the skull when it comes to incurable disease. But Your Majesty, I have got a very bad feeling about the skull. I believe that the wise decision is to throw the skull into the sea. I can either do it and get probably the boring ending, or she could touch it and I can watch everyone I love and care about die. Let's have her touch it." The knight sighs. "As you wish, Your Majesty, but if you're going to bring the skull to her, I wish you wear gloves, bare-handed." You ignore the knight and touch the skull with bare hands and instantly find yourself in a vision. In your vision, you are in the middle of a ritual. There are about 100 naked humans around you, forming a circle, those whose center is you. They are all prostrating themselves, worshipping you. It's nighttime. The plain area is lined with torches and stars. You see a step pyramid nearby, and it's made of huge stone blocks. You realize that you are the crystal skull. You can't see yourself, but you are completely aware that you are. These naked people are worshipping you, the crystal skull. "Excuse me, Road." Then the vision changes. Now it's not night. Morning. It is raining like hell. There's a huge flood. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned. Unclothed, red-skinned humans scream and get drowned because of this dashest torrent in you as the skull drifts away. You open your eyes and turn back to who you really are, the good king. Sir William looks at you. Television. You tell him what you have seen. "Yes, the skull is mysterious. I can't understand it. I hope it doesn't bring harm to you or the princess, Your Majesty," he says. Bring it to her, Juliana. You thank Sir William for his service and let him go. You carry the skull to Juliana's chambers. You enter her chamber and See that she hasn't slept yet. She rises up and sits on her bed. She looks at the skull in awe. It looks marvelous and scary, she says. You approach Juliana and let her touch the skull. She holds the skull and rubs her hands around it. Nothing happens. Is something supposed to happen, she asks, then gives the skull back. Then continues. Let's wait for tomorrow morning. Maybe it shows its effects then. So you decide to leave Juliana alone and let her sleep. The skull will be staying in your study chamber. Uh, After this tiring day, you go to your chambers. There are no guards at the door. You trust everybody in the, you just trust everyone in the palace. You are a loved king. The furniture is luxurious and in chamber 2, you take a glance at your reflection in the mirror. Really? I don't know why today everyone is just out. We'll examine ourselves. We probably look handsome. Let's see what we look like. You take pride in how you look. I knew it. We are handsome. You are a middle-aged man, but you still look handsome as you were young. Your looks are an important factor that makes you a charismatic leader, besides being fair and wise. Sleep. You wear your nightgown and get in your bed. It is a bed for 2, but you haven't slept with anyone since your wife passed. You have a secret that will keep from everyone. Sometimes you hug the second pillow in your bed, as if it was someone you love. You do this since your childhood. Nobody needs to know. It doesn't take long for you to fall asleep. Ain't that just relatable? Like if you have a spare pillow and you just want to cuddle with it. It's relatable to me. I'm lonely. Don't at me. You wake up in the morning. Something is wrong. You can't move your arms. Not only your arms, you can't move any part of your body. You are paralyzed. Then suddenly your body starts to move involuntarily. It stands up without your consent. Your feet bring you to the mirror and you see your face in the mirror. You are terrified, uh, but there is no grin on your face. You are no longer in control of your body. You are immediately a bystander of what it does. Did this skull possess us? Son of a bitch. It brings you to the throne room and with confident steps, soldiers salute you. With confident steps, salute you. To be exact, as you enter. It sits on the throne and shouts with your voice, "Bring me my daughter." Your watch guards accompany Juliana. She comes to your presence. It shouts, "I don't want her to suffer anymore. Kill her." Juliana is shocked. What? Father, please. She is not only surprised, she is not the only one surprised in the room. Everybody looks at each other with shock and shouts, "You heard your king. Execute her." You try to shout, but your screams are buried inside the head of the king. Juliana gets her knees and cries in despair, but it is in vain. 2 black masked decapitators come into your presence. One holds a crying blonde girl, the other one holds a sword. You do nothing but watch as your precious daughter gets decapitated. Her head falls down and rolls to the throne. The floor gets filled with her blood. Days pass, it continues to control your body. You mourn over your daughter inside the body that once belonged to you. You watch it rule your country with an iron fist. It orders all the churches to be burnt and the priests to be hanged. Of course, your people uprise against the new king. It suppresses a revolt with violence. Anyone who stood against the king gets tortured. Eyes are poked, skins are flayed. Soon, it orders people to worship it as a deity. The God King declares war on other countries. It doesn't take long for other countries to form an alliance against the God King. In a fateful battle in your capital, the king loses his horse. The evil king gets killed while desperately searching for a horse. And this is how your soul finally breaks free to heaven, to see your family once again. The end. There are 3 endings. Well, that was an ending, obviously. I don't know. I'm pretty sure that was one of the bad endings. Huh. Yeah, I think that was one of the bad endings. Oh, there's Crystal Skull too. Electric Boogaloo. Alright, well, I'm gonna leave this for now. Of course, I will continue these stories. I don't really have much else to say. If you enjoyed it, like, comment, subscribe. Show me what you, how you like the stories, and all that. And I'll see you guys next time. I suck at goodbyes, but here's one.